exactly the way we have to. And it's interesting that we think we're in charge of it, but it's happening through us. And happening through us is far greater power than anything a mind can come up with. That's all I wanted to share. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rafi. All right, we are live on YouTube, and it's time now for Robert. Robert and Sharon, this mic is all yours. And hi, Cherie.
Okay. Sharon, do you want to go ahead and start, please?
Sharon, you want to start?
Well, the prayer, I don't, you, can you,
Oh,
you
my
want Sharon
bad.
to start?
My
Sure.
bad. Hang on. There we go.
Okay, you want me to start?
Sure.
I am here only to be truly helpful. I'm here to represent him who sent me. I do not have to worry about what to say or what to do because he who sent me will direct me. I am content to be wherever he wishes, knowing he goes there with me. I will be healed as I let him teach me to heal.
And you can read the next part too.
Monday morning, we had a great session. Rather than repeat part of it, you can watch the episode here, and it's a YouTube. Okay.
Put it in the chat. People can save it and watch it later. But I asked Sharon to share a couple of words before we get into the essay. Sharon?
Well, it was interesting because Bob has been working on a new book, but he had released it and on.
Can you be
Kindle,
closer to the mic? We cannot hear you. Oh, your mic is muted.
Yeah, hers is on.
Okay.
Bob had written or working on a new book, and he had released it on Kindle.
No, not on Kindle. I gave away free copies.
I'm sorry, he gave away free copies. See, if you could just say it. At any rate, he got quite a response from a reader who had gone halfway through the book and was just saying what an amazing thing it was to help her at that point in dealing with real issues that she was trying to work with. And in the end, we went through pretty much a whole essay. And that's what Bob has related to here, that it's on the chat so that you can listen to it later on. But we really got into some good discussions with it, and we just don't want to repeat it for those who were here yesterday.
And you want to just read it?
The book on relationships is now complete and should be live in a few days. Watch for free access to the Kindle version.
Okay. And Sharon, if you want to take over at this point,
Okay.
did you pick something out already?
Well, should I just read the book on relationships is now complete and then go down?
No. Did you pick an essay to read already?
No, I didn't. I was asking you today and you didn't get back to me, so I didn't know.
I sent you a file.
Oh, on the email? Okay, let me look. I didn't look at my email.
It's too late. I'll just bring it up here.
I'm sorry. I didn't know that you sent me.
This is the first half of the list. If you want to pick something from there, then we'll go down the list some more. Well, anybody can pick something.
Oh, what is my worth?
Okay.
I mean, that's really, because unworthy is a common thing that we all seem to deal with. It has to be brought up better. Okay.
Yeah.
And it has to go all the way up. A meditation, what is my worth? A meditation in two voices. In the marketplace of the world, my worth is weighed and measured. They hold scales made of silver and glass, and they place among them the coins of my achievement, the feathers of my beauty, the papers of my credentials, the applause of strangers. Each day the weight shifts. Some days I rise, some days I fall, and I am told my value changes with the wind. They say I am worth more when my hands are full of work, full of trophies, full of followers. They say I'm worth less when I stumble, less when I falter, less when I dare to rest. They remind me that I must keep building my tower of worth. Oh, I love this. Brick upon brick, or risk being forgotten in the dusk. This is the voice of the ego, loud, urgent, insistent, telling me that worth is fragile, conditional, and always just one more effort away. But there's another voice. It does not shout, it waits. It does not measure, it knows. It speaks not in the marketplace, but in the quiet space between my thoughts. And when I'm still enough, it says, your worth is established by God. Nothing you do, nothing you make, nothing you destroy can alter it by even the width of a breath. You are as I created you. Is that what it said? Because
Yeah, that's right.
you were worthy in the first. See, you keep moving it, and it's hard for me to. I can't get it.
I know the page breaks make it crazy for me
Okay.
to spell.
All right. Well, we have patience. That's one thing we all have. That's the teachers of God, It does not measure, it knows. It speaks not in marketplace, but in quiet space between my thoughts. And when I am still enough, it says, your worth is established by God. Nothing you do, nothing you make, nothing you destroy can alter it by even the width of a breath. You are as I created you, whole, holy, and without lack. You were worthy in the first moment of your creation, and you remain worthy now, untouched by the world's verdict. In this voice, there are no rise or fall, no climbing of ladders, no falling from grace, for grace is not a place. It is what you are. It is here I learn. I cannot earn my worth any more than the sun can earn its light. The sun shines because it is the sun, and I am worthy because I am the sun, a child of God, a thought in his mind, forever held in his perfect love. The world may see my worth as a fragile thread, but heaven knows it is an eternal cord, woven from the substance of God himself. This cord cannot fray, cannot tangle, cannot be cut. And so when I ask, what is my worth? I will remember to whom I'm speaking. If I ask the world, it will hand me a mirror of shifting images. And I will chase them until my feet are sore. If I ask the Holy Spirit, he will hand me a mirror that reflects only light. And I will see myself as I was always meant to be. In the world, my worth can be questioned. In spirit, my worth is the answer. And it is always the same. I am as God created me. I am enough. I am his beloved. This is so beautiful and simple. just so beautiful. It says everything in just a couple of paragraphs. It's just beautiful, Robert. And I would say that most of us come up against unworthiness more than most things. So I think that was so helpful. Anybody else want to share?
I want to just thank Brooklyn for something. Brooklyn has offered so many poems, and I had fun trying to write this more like a poem. That's how
Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah.
that was for you.
Mm. Does somebody else want to pick another essay?
Yeah, Rico, go ahead.
And you can read too if you want, Rico.
Thank you, Robert. Good evening, family and friends. Thanks for letting me be in your presence. I send you love and life and my heart to yours. Robert, that was absolutely exquisite.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Made me tingle a little bit, and I have to watch out for you. Only kidding.
Well, only on the highway.
How do I download that? What is my worth? That one. I need to read that a few times.
It's on my website. You can download any one you want. Any of them or all of them. I don't
On the
care.
website?
It's on my website, yeah.
Okay.
Right.
That was excellent. I don't know what you were thinking when you
Thank you.
wrote that, but that has such a flow to it and such a vibration to it. It just felt so easy and so lovable and so truthful. So it was easy to swallow. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good vibrations, I hope. No
Absolutely good
pun
vibration.
intended. Rafi, sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
And you see that we are all expressions of the divine omniscience, that we are call yourself children of God, any way you want to frame it. It's impossible then to bring ego judgment into anybody. How can you possibly say this person is good and that person is not good when we know that we are all expressions of this divine presence, that we are all worthy in the eyes of God, that we are all created in God's image? It's not anything else that comes up as even vaguely critical or negative looks so absolutely insanely weird. It's like, what the hell could I possibly be talking about? So that's what I wanted to share. Thank you.
Thank you, Rafi. Cherie just poked me in the ribs here and wants to pick one. It's on this list. I'll bring it up. If somebody else wants to start reading it, I will tell you, this is an essay that became a book. So this is an abbreviated version. And let me get it here. And make it bigger.
Wow.
And move it over. And there we go. That's big enough. Okay. You want to start and quit when you're tired?
All right. 31 flavors of fear. Finding peace in the unthreatened. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God. These words are not simply poetic. They are the foundation of all peace. They declare that what is real is changeless, and anything that can be threatened was never real at all. Yet the ego insists that danger lurks everywhere, in our bodies, our relationships, our finances, our politics, and even in God. The truth is that all fear is one fear, the fear of separation, and it shows up in countless disguises. The following reflections explore 31 flavors of fear, each an illusion of threat undone by the light of truth.
As you can see, this was a spoof on Baskin and Robbins ice cream.
Number 1, the threat to the body. We fear for the body because we have confused it with ourselves. The Course explains, you want to just unplug that. The body is a fence the Son of God imagines he has built to separate parts of himself from other parts. The body was meant to communicate love, not to define us. When we remember, I am not a body, I am free. Fear of sickness or injury fades. The body's changes do not touch what you are. You remain safe in spirit, unconfined by flesh. Illness. Sickness seems real because pain feels convincing. Yet the Course reveals sickness is a defense against the truth. The mind uses the body's condition to prove separation. Healing begins when we stop defending illusion and remember that health is of the mind. Even when the body needs care, peace can reign if we let the Holy Spirit reinterpret what it means. Number 3, aging. We believe time diminishes us, that every birthday shortens life. But time is a trick, a sleight of hand, a teaching device for those who have not yet realized that eternity is here. Spirit is timeless, ageless, whole. The body's changes do not diminish your essence. When you identify with the eternal instead of the temporal, aging becomes graceful, an unfolding classroom rather than a decline. 4, death. The ego calls death proof that separation is real. The Course unmasks it as the central dream from which all illusions stem. Death is not an end, but a waking from a dream of bodies. There is no death. The Son of God is free. What God created eternal cannot die. Knowing this transforms mourning into quiet gratitude for a life that never truly ended. Number 5, loss. We believe we can lose what we love. The Course comforts us. Nothing you can lose was ever real. Love's reality is unbroken. The form may pass away, but the content, spirit, remains forever. Grieving softens when we realize that nothing real has left us. Number 6, rejection. Rejection hurts because we ask others to define our worth. But God's Son is guiltless and cannot be diminished by opinion. God's Son is guiltless, and in his innocence is his salvation. Rejection then becomes an invitation to reclaim your value from the world and place it back in God's hands. Number 7, betrayal. We feel betrayed when we depend on form rather than truth. The Holy Spirit sees no betrayal, only confusion. The Holy Spirit looks on what you love as one. Others act from fear or forgetfulness, never from true malice. Forgiveness restores the unity that betrayal only seemed to shatter. 8, failure. We fear failure because the ego equates worth with accomplishment. The Course invites a gentler metric, peace. Seek not to change the world, but choose to change your mind about the world. Every so-called failure is simply a chance to choose again, to learn what matters more than outcomes. Number 9, financial insecurity. Money appears to measure safety, but true security rests only in trust. Only what God gives us real. The more we rely on Spirit's guidance, the more the symbols of support rearrange themselves to serve our peace. God's will for me is perfect happiness. Happiness, not fear, attracts the resources needed for your function. Number 10, judgment by others. We fear others' judgment because we secretly judge ourselves. Judgment is but a weapon used against yourself. When we cease condemning others, their opinions lose power. I will judge nothing that occurs. Peace follows the suspension of judgment as naturally as light follows dawn.
Let's take a quick break here because you're not getting one of them. So would anybody like to comment before we continue? Yeah, Karen, thank you.
Robert, can you scroll up two?
Yeah,
I just
but
want to, because there's one of the ones that really struck me, but
do you remember what the title was?
it was in, I think it was just one page up from this one. So if you scroll up one, yes, please, failure. We fear failure because the ego quotes the accomplishment. Christ provides you for the peace chosen.
Is that the one?
Yeah, I thought it was, but now it doesn't. Can you go up one more? Sorry to rejection, of course. Of course, it's rejection. Rejection hurts because we think we ask for others to define our worth, but God's sons, godless, cannot be diminished by opinions. Rejection then becomes an invitation to reclaim your value from the world in this place. So yes, I think it changes the power of how rejection works for me. And
Right.
when I saw that, it was just like there's the answer to because I intend to uh, have this human reliance or the form reliance. So maybe it was the one um, with this and with one of the other ones where it said, anytime I put reliance on form, I'm going to come up short solely because you can take peace because I'm putting the onuses on something outside of myself as opposed to, seeking the God within. I'll say. I don't know. It struck a chord to me, for me. It just
Thank
changed.
you.
The wording just kind of changed it for me. So thank you.
Thank you. And what I think I'm going to do at this point, because each of these is very different, I'm going to suggest if anybody wants to comment on one in real time, I'll watch for hands while Cherie reads, and we can stop right there and talk about it so we don't have to backtrack. We may not get through all 31 of them, but we'll get through the ones we need to hear, I'm sure. So, Cherie, I'm going to let you pick up with guilt.
Guilt. Number 11. Guilt is the ego's crown jewel. It insists we have sinned and must pay for it. The Course declares otherwise. You are not guilty because God's Son cannot be guilty. The atonement corrects the error that anything real was damaged. The instant you accept innocence, guilt evaporates and peace floods in. Go on.
Oh, gotta get my cursor to move. Here we go.
Number 12, shame. Shame whispers that we are flawed. The Course counters endlessly. I am as God created me. To accept this is to honor the holiness within you that no mistake can touch. When you see yourself as God sees you, shame has no place to hide. Number 13, sin. Sin imagines a successful attack on God. Sin is the belief attack.
I'm sorry.
Sin is the belief attack can be projected outside the mind. There is no attack and no sin, only confusion to be corrected. Forgiveness reclassifies sin as a simple error awaiting truth. (14) Punishment. Many still fear God's wrath. Yet God is not fearful, and fear is not of him. Love does not punish, it heals. God's correction restores what never truly broke. The idea of punishment disappears when we remember that love is incapable of anger. Number 15, unworthiness. We claim to be unworthy as a false form of humility, yet it insults our Creator. You are wholly lovable and wholly loving. Gratitude is the true response to divine inheritance. Accept it, and the search for approval ends. 16, loneliness. Loneliness depends on believing we are alone. You are never alone. Angels hover near and all about you. The presence of love is constant, though our awareness fluctuates. Sit quietly, and you'll feel the companionship that was never absent. Number 17, we fear being left behind, yet you are at home in God, dreaming of exile, but perfectly capable of awakening. No one can truly leave or be left. We remain joined in the mind of God. What seems like separation is only a dream of distance. Number 18, the future. Anxiety arises when we try to manage what belongs to God. I place the future in the hands of God. This statement is an act of trust, not resignation. It frees us from worry and opens the present moment to peace. Number 19, the past. Regret imprisons us in a story long over. The Course says, the past is over. It can touch me not. The past is only memory, sustained by belief. When we withdraw that belief, its power ends, and forgiveness rewrites the story with mercy. Number 20, change. Change feels dangerous because the ego equates the familiar with safety. The Course reminds us what is real is eternal and cannot change. If it can change, it was never real. Change simply reveals what cannot change, our true self. 21, the unknown. The unknown frightens us because the ego survives by predicting. The Holy Spirit uses uncertainty to strengthen trust. God's will for me is perfect happiness. The unknown, guided by love, can only bless. Every new step is another invitation to faith. War and violence. Conflict in the world reflects the split mind's inner war. The Course states plainly, there is no world. This is the central thought through the Course attempts to teach. External battles are projections of inner guilt. Each mind that chooses peace withdraws support from all wars. 23. Climate and disaster. Nature seems hostile when the mind is fearful. The world you see is an illusion of a world. God did not create it, for what he creates must be eternal as himself. As perception heals, the world reflects harmony. Inner peace is the truest form of environmental care. 24. Losing home. When houses crumble or circumstances change, we feel uprooted, but heaven is the home of perfect purity. Home is not a place, but a state of remembering. When we carry that awareness, every location becomes holy ground. Number 25, losing purpose. We panic when our roles end, thinking life has lost meaning. The Course gives the answer. I am here only to be truly helpful. Your purpose is forgiveness, to extend love. That mission remains constant, though its form may shift. 26. Losing freedom. We equate freedom with choices among illusions. True freedom is the power to choose truth. Choose once again. Even in limitation, the mind that chooses peace is free. The prison is never outside. It's the belief in bondage. 27. Losing control. Control is the ego's substitute for truth, for trust. Let me recognize the problem so it can be solved. The problem is always perception, not circumstance. When you surrender control to guidance, life begins to flow again, and peace replaces effort. 28. Political and social upheaval. The news seems filled with division. Yet the world you see is a judgment on yourself. When we heal our judgments, the world reflects that healing. Act in the world if guided, but let peace be your activism. 29. Losing faith. Faith feels lost when fear grows loud, but faith is not a feeling, it's a choice. Faith and belief are strong in the mind, and what you believe you make true for you. Choose again for faith, and it returns instantly, for God was never absent. 30. Losing peace. The harder we chase peace, the more elusive it seems. Peace is the natural state of the mind when truth has come. Stop seeking and remove the barriers, judgment, guilt, and defense. What remains is peace, quietly waiting underneath. And 31, losing God. The ultimate fear imagines the impossible, separation from God. You are part of God and cannot be lost. This single recognition ends the search. You are already home, already whole, already safe in love. Each of these fears, these 31 flavors of illusion, melts into nothing when seen clearly. They all stem from one mistake, believing we could leave love. The Course gently assures us we never did. The peace of God is shining in you now. Peace does not need protection. It needs recognition. When we stop defending illusions, the heart naturally remembers its source. You have tasted every flavor of fear and found none satisfying. Taste peace once, and you will never forget it. For truly, nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God.
Thank you. As long as that was, that's the short version. Would anybody else like to pick something from the list? Yes, ma'am.
I was just gonna say, I did post this in the chat that these every single one of those is reflected many times in many different ways in the needs list from nonviolent communication. So all those things that we fear losing are the things that we think we need. And if it's something that you believe that you need, then you are going to uh, have a lot of feelings when you're lacking it or when it's being taken away from you or all the different fears that you have about it. So it's very important to recognize that when these fears come up, they're based on a perception of needs that is uh, uh, very real to the mind. You know, not just oh geez, you really don't need that stuff, but you know what we think we need to survive, and survival is a very uh, real thing to most of us. So as long as we think our survival depends on something in this world, we are going to have those fears. We're going to have those needs and we're going to have those fears. So I really appreciated being able to look through all that with you and say, yep, there it is. Yep, there it is. These are the reasons that we use or we see that put us into a state of unease or lack of trust. So it really is the development of trust that will bring us to the place where we are no longer in fear. In fact, development of trust is all about letting go of fear. So anyway, and I don't really want to pick one to read, but I wanted to say that. So thank you for letting me share.
Thank you, Ed. Would somebody like to pick one from the list we have here?
May I pick?
Sharon, go ahead.
How about we pick the one who learned to listen.
Ah, okay. I'll have to make this a little bigger. Oh, okay. I need to set this up a little bit. Um, for those of you that are aware of the what I call the typewriter trilogy, one of the books in the typewriter trilogy was written by an entity I called Samuel Hart. And this talks about where that came from. So as I say, this meeting room is set up. It's not an essay per se, it's kind of an extension, but it's worth reading. You want to read it, Rick?
Sure, if you just slide the bottom bar over, I'll be able to see all of it.
Oh, yeah, I see that. Yeah, there we go.
Perfect. Okay, well, brace yourself. Thank you for asking me. The one who learned to listen, Samuel Hart, and the quiet tradition of hearing. In the biblical tradition, Samuel is not introduced as the hero, as a hero, a leader, or a figure of power. He is introduced as a child, not a prodigy, not a visionary, but a boy living near the sacred with living near the sacred without yet understanding it. That detail matters. Samuel, defining moments does not come through insight or obedience, but through confusion. He hears a voice and assumes it belongs to someone he already knows. He runs to Eli repeatedly. Here I am, he says. You called me. Each time he is mistaken. The story quietly teaches its first lesson. The voice that matters most is often misidentified. Only when Eli suggests that Emmanuel stop reacting, and begin listening does the posture shift. Speak, Samuel finally says, for your servant is listening. There is no demand in that response, no interpretation, no attempt to control meaning, just availability. That posture is quite, that posture is the quiet spine of the typewriter trilogy. Samuel Hart is not a prophet, nor is he meant to echo a religious role, but he shares something essential with the ancient namesake, a willingness to pause long enough to hear what does not announce itself. From the beginning, Samuel Hart is not seeking answers in a heroic sense. He is not chasing certainty, mastery, or personal elevation. He is unsettled. Something feels unresolved. Like the boy in the temple, he senses that something is speaking, and he does not yet know how to recognize it. The typewriter does not declare itself sacred or authoritative. It does not demand belief. It waits, and that waiting is critical. In the biblical story, the voice does not grow louder to be understood. It does not scold Samuel for misunderstanding. It repeats quietly until the listener learns how to listen. The burden is not the voice to change, but on the hearer to become still. Samuel Hart's journey follows the same inversion. The typewriter never persuades him. It never explains itself. It responds only when he approaches without performance, without agenda, without the need to be impressive or correct. This is why the Samuel matters. Samuel is often translated as one who hears or heard by God, but the deeper meaning is not about favor or chosenness. It is about receptivity. Samuel matters. Samuel matters not because he speaks for God, but because he hears when others are too distracted by expectations, fear, or role. Samuel Hart embodies the same receptivity removed from religious structure and placed inside a modern interior landscape. There are no temples or rituals around him, only memory, doubt, and the constant noise of thought. But the work is the same. Learn to distinguish between voices and demand reaction, and the one that waits for willingness. In the biblical narrative, Samuel eventually anoints kings, yet repeatedly warns against the seduction of power. When the people demand a king, Samuel does not celebrate, he grieves. He understands the cost of mistaken strength for safety, authority for wisdom. The warning quietly shadows the typewriter trilogy. Samuel's heart is never tempted to buy power in the obvious sense. His temptation is subtler and more modern. The temptation to explain, to package insight, to claim ownership over what is being revealed, to turn experience into instruction. Each time that impulse arises, the typewriter resists. It not through argument, but through silence. Excuse me. This is of the trilogy, most important alignment with the biblical story. True listening does not produce instant comfort. Sometimes it produces disruption. Samuel's first message in the scripture is not affirming. It is not difficult. He's hesitates to deliver it. Clarity carries a cost. Samuel's heart encounters this same discomfort inwardly. The typewriter does not flatter him or validate identity. It dismantles assumptions. It removes questions rather than answering them. That is far more unsettling than receiving explanations. Like the boy in the temple, Samuel's heart does not immediately understand what he hears. Understanding comes later, if at all. What comes first is consent, a willingness to remain present without certainty. That willingness is the true inheritance of the name Samuel. The surname heart deepens this inheritance quietly. A heart, a deer, survives not by dominance, but by awareness. It listens, its senses shifts before they become threats. Its intelligence is not aggressive, it is responsive. This complements the biblical Samuel beautifully. Listening is not passive. It is alert, discerning, and undefended. Samuel's heart is not armored. He is open. That openness is what allows the typewriter to function at all. The machine does not reward cleverness or effort. It does not engage defenses. It responds only to sincerity. Again, the biblical echo is clear. The voice speaks not because Samuel is important, but because he is available. Availability is the rarest posture in any age. Excuse me. The trilogy never presents Samuel Hart as special in the conventional sense. He is not chosen because of virtue, intellect, or destiny. He is simply the one who stays when others would turn away. the one who resists labeling the experience too quickly, the one who does not try to control what is happening. That ordinaries is deliberate. If Samuel Hart were more impressive, the story would collapse into hierarchy. Instead, it remains invitational. Readers are not asked to admire him, they are asked to recognize themselves. This is also why Samuel Hart never becomes the voice of trilogy. The typewriter does. And even then, the typewriter never claims authority. It reflects, it clarifies, it removes noise. It does not replace the reader's mind with conclusions. In scriptures, Samuel eventually fades from the center of the story. He does not work and step aside, but he does his work and steps aside. Kings rise and fall. History moves on. His role was never to remain central, only to listen faithfully while it was his turn. Samuel Hart follows that same arc. The trilogy does not culminate, in revelation, conquest, or final answers. It culminates in sufficiency, in the recognition that nothing more is required. Seen this way, the name Samuel Hart is not symbolic in a clever sense. It is functional. It establishes a story rooted in receptivity rather than authority, stillness rather than strategy, and truth that arrives quietly. The biblical Samuel teaches that hearing is learned, not granted. The typewriter trilogy carries that lesson into the modern interior world where noise has replaced listening and certainty has replaced curiosity. The voice has not disappeared. What has disappeared is our patience with silence. Samuel stands at the threshold, not as a guide, but as evidence that listening is still possible, and that is enough.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I,
I would
I
pick the
did-
longest one.
I didn't realize that this was written as an infomercial for the book trilogy, and that wasn't the reason. I didn't pick it. You did, so I'm kind of off the hook for that one. You're not feeling guilty.
I
I'm not
liked it
feeling
though. It's
guilty at
very
all.
pertinent. I
Thank
liked
you.
it. It was a great.
Thank you.
It was a great story. So
We do not have any more time. That was it. Would anybody like to share some comments before I turn it back over to Lynn for the night? Anyone? And thank you all for being here. You're always welcome. Yes, Brooklyn. Thank you, Deb.
Beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Absolutely beautiful. Touch me.
And with that, it's time to say goodnight, and I will turn it back over to Lynn, and I'll see you all probably bright and early Thursday morning. You people that are up at 8:30, you gotta remember, Matthew and I are here at 5:30. So Lynn, back to you.
Thank you guys so much. And I was listening to that. My little grandson is named Samuel. So and he's named after the character on the show Supernatural, which is really, really cool. But my little Sammy, I was listening and thinking, yep, that's him. He's a listener. All right, you guys, I love you all. See you all Thursday.